Hi, Judy Maturano, MVSHP, President-elect.
This is Regini Bhakta, the treasurer for this year. Welcome to another episode of Better Left NSAID.
Welcome to episode 3, titled No Pill-ter. We'd like to give a shout out to Monique Boussiquet, a pharmacist who submitted this title as an idea for the podcast.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to work with your spouse who's also a pharmacist at the same institution?
Joining us today on Zoom are our guests Lisa and Brett Krautstrunk, who will help us dive into the answer to this question. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Brett.
Hi there. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, we're very excited. All right, guys. So, Lisa, tell us a little bit about your position at St. Rose and your responsibilities.
Sure. I'm currently one of the ID pharmacists here at our Siena campus. I do round with an ID physician when I am here. I also oversee our College of Pharmacy students during their ID rotations, and I also precept our first year PGY1 residents and our PGY2 infectious disease resident during their ID rotation. Some of my other responsibilities include activities for our antimicrobial stewardship. So I interact with multiple departments, including microbiology, infection prevention, and I also serve as the PGY2 director for the infectious disease program.
That's a lot.
Yeah, seems like you're pretty busy.
Part-time.
Now, Brett, tell us about what you do at St. Rose Hospital.
Yes, I'm the antimicrobial stewardship pharmacist, and that means I help do those activities for both Siena and San Martin. That means monitoring, looking up, making sure we're using antibiotics as appropriately as possible, as well as precepting residents and students. I'm the co-chair for the stewardship committee for both hospitals. It's a market position, so that takes up most of the things I do.
Awesome. Cool. And so can both of you tell me a little bit more about your family, like kids, parents, pets, anything that you want to divulge?
Sure. I can talk about our kids. I'll take the easy part. We have 2 amazing kids. My daughter, Bella, is 17 years old. You know, I would say she's probably more of the sweet-natured type, probably a little more reserved like her father. So just very kind-hearted, very artistic, has been a competitive dancer, loves music, writes poetry, can draw, just amazing kid. Then we have my son, Max, 13 years old, which at times, unfortunately, I think is a little bit more like me. He is definitely the class clown, the comedian of the family, can be sarcastic at times, very quick-witted, always seems to be, I guess I would say, on the edge of getting in trouble, but somehow manages to always get away with whatever he's doing at that particular time. So he definitely keeps our hands full.
He sounds like he would be very likable and the life of the party.
Yes, for sure.
Maximilian, that's his name. And don't you have a dog and a cat?
We do have a dog and a cat. We have some family here. Lisa's dad lives here, but most of our family is back east, Michigan, and some in Tennessee. So we usually try to get back and visit them a couple times a year and spend our vacations trying to have some fun and get the kids out doing things that they wouldn't be doing here in the summer Vegas heat. So
awesome.
Cool. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you sharing that with us. So, Brett, I'm going to start with you. In your current job, how do you interact with Lisa? For example, are you considered equal in your rank, or do one of you outrank the other? So, give me an idea of where both of you at St. Rose are in terms of hierarchy.
Well, she's not my boss. But she does have some control over what I do because she does all the resident work. So as far as scheduling and, things to do with both the PGY1s and PGY2, those are things that she sets up a lot of. As far as just ID related work, I would say it's fairly equal there because we have questions. We're the main people we ask those questions because there aren't a lot of other ID people in the hospital at St. Rose to run those things by. So that's what I would see as the hierarchy, I guess.
That is such a good husband answer.
I was just
Brett.
going to say, Brett knows who the boss really is, actually.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that information. Lisa, I'm curious, how does working together at St. Rose translate to home life? Like, I don't know, is there too much together time?
Yeah. Well, we've both been pharmacists for over 20 years now, trying not to divulge our age. But we have been very fortunate in the past. I think that we've either worked in really large institutions where we were in different areas of the hospital, or we've always worked on different campuses. So really it's been a transition the last couple of months where Brett is now a more market position, meaning that he is on the same campus with me a couple of days. So it's really a work in progress. I try not to feel like my area is invaded, which I think for the most part we do a pretty good job. We do, like he said, bounce things off of each other, so that's good. As far as home life, yeah, obviously we do bring some of our issues at work home. It definitely makes for interesting conversation at the dinner table. But I think overall we really do a good job of separating. And if we do talk about pharmacy at home, it's really just bouncing ideas off of each other, like recommendations. I did this antibiotic to treat something. Do you agree or disagree? So far so good.
Love it. Sounds like a recipe for success.
So, Brett, if you disagree at work, what happens at home? That's my question to you.
Well, you have to remember that everybody has a spouse that's married is going to disagree from time to time on multiple things. So it just so happens since we work together, some of those items are work related. And it's like anybody, you have to try to see the other side and work through whatever issue that might be. So, does it happen? Yes, occasionally, but what I try to do is not to have it happen. So that's an easier way to get aside or step aside from any potential argument or pitfall you might run into.
I like that.
I love that answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, Lisa, tell us who is more competitive between the two of you?
That is probably the toughest question. I'm not going to lie. I think we are both extremely competitive. I think that as far as our progression in our pharmacy careers is probably really due to our competitiveness. If one of us got board certified, then the other had to go get board certified. As soon as we got the results, we're comparing answers. Who's smarter than who? So I think that while it's very competitive, it's still a healthy competitiveness. If I had to choose, I would say that I'm probably a little more competitive, and I'm always trying to maybe prove to myself that I'm as smart as Brett. And I think that that's maybe my own issue rather than, Brett really putting anything on me. But I definitely think overall it's good because it really strives for us to always better ourselves. It makes us become better pharmacists. And I think it keeps us always up to date on current literature. So overall, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I have to say, I've worked with Brett and Lisa for a very long time, and I think your perception is correct. I think Brett probably is competitive, but I think you're just more verbal about it. He kind of does it on the silence part of it. So I think it's a healthy balance between the two of you. So that's awesome.
Brett, there's a lot of hidden compliments going on here. You coming up roses.
Hard to believe.
It's awesome.
So
Can I just piggyback on that?
Yes.
Because
sure.
I probably wouldn't be board certified at all if it weren't for Lisa doing it first. So way back when we did BCPS originally and when we did the ID one, yeah, I wouldn't have done it without her doing it first because I can't let her get ahead of me.
That's right.
As we
There is some
continue.
competition,
Yep,
yes.
yep.
I love that.
So we'll kind of get off the topic of who's competitive now. When there's a complaint about a coworker, do you guys complain to each other about coworkers? Do you not say anything, or how does that work when you have like somebody who doesn't follow through on getting ready for a training or something like that? Like, do you guys complain to each other?
I would say trying to be diplomatic. I think what we would try to do, both of us in these instances, is just say, this is what's going on. I told this person this or that. What do you think? Did I do the right thing here? Did I not do the right thing? How would you have handled it? I've been doing this long enough, and both of us have been sort of managers in different aspects of pharmacy where you try to do and say things that are not going to rock the boat too much. So that's what I would say to that.
Gotcha.
I didn't really think about that. Like, it seems like a little bit of an advantage, like someone's looking out for you, like, don't engage, or whatever. I was like, oh, I could use something like that.
Listen, I think it's Brett mostly saying, Lisa, don't
Don't
engage.
engage.
Don't engage.
Back
Hey,
away, back
I'm
away.
really subdued in my old age.
Well, she's not old, number one, and subdued is not something I would call Lisa, but I think it's nice that you feel like you're getting into that era of being subdued. So that's funny. I love it.
I love that too. Okay, I can take over and ask a couple questions now. So, Lisa, who do you talk to if you've had a bad day?
Well, it's funny that you say that because I would think my immediate response would be Brett. So I would say 9 times out of 10, if something's bothering me, I'll call Brett. And even if it's in the workplace and he's at home, I'll definitely reach out to him first. And of course, I'm mad if he's not picking up on the first ring. But yeah, he is my primary person that I'll go to when I have an issue. And if not, I really fall back on family. I can't stress enough that my family is the number one most important thing to me in my life. So if Brett isn't available, or if I want to vent about Brett, it would really probably be my mother or my sister. They really are my best friends.
Awesome. Do you have a different answer, Brett?
No,
Okay.
I just go to Lisa. I mean,
Yeah.
for pretty much everything. And then if we're fighting or something, then I just don't say anything. We don't fight that much. It's not that big a deal.
That's awesome. Another great answer, Brett. This, I guess, could be for both of you, although if you feel like you've answered it already, then we can move on. But how do you prevent work stuff from affecting home life stuff?
I can answer that first if you like.
Sure.
I think doing things outside of work, just doing family things, or if, kids have activities, we're going to do them instead of thinking about what's going on at work or the people at work or the issues that are going on at work. Otherwise, you just get bogged down in all those distractions and it affects your overall well-being. So I would say that's what we normally do to try to get away from all the work-related issues.
I agree, 100%. I think transitioning over to more of an administrative type of position with the residency program has really caused me to take a lot of stuff home sometimes. So Brett is usually a great supporter. We'll walk, go exercise, do something else to really take my mind off of, what's back at the office. So
That's awesome.
I would agree.
That's awesome. I don't know that, I guess maybe one final question that we would have for you. This is from Judy and I both, and it does go to both of you. So would you do it all over again? Would you work with each other again?
Sure. Definitely. I think that, I was very fortunate to meet Brett in the workplace. So I think if it wasn't for pharmacy and working together, I would have never had the opportunity to meet my husband, have this great family. So I would definitely do everything again. You look at some of the negatives of working together, maybe you see someone too much. For me, it's the total opposite. I feel like I don't get enough of my family. And, while I love my job, sometimes work takes you away from the things and the people that are the most important to you. So I truly feel that I'm blessed. I get the best of both worlds, a job that I really like. And, from time to time, I actually get to go have a lunch with my husband. So, yeah, I would do it over again in a minute.
What about you, Brent?
Yes, I mean the same. We've worked together in the same institutions way more than we haven't right from the start. When we moved to Vermont, we worked in the same hospital for a year. We moved here. We've mostly in Las Vegas for 22 years, however long it's been, worked at the same places. So it's not an issue. It's helped probably because at least you know where they are. You can talk to them if you need some kind of backup help or just someone to speak with. So I definitely wouldn't change anything.
Cool.
Awesome.
It's a lot more mushy than I thought it would be. But I love it. Very unexpected.
Oh, I knew it was going to be mushy. Well, thank you so much for really embracing the title of this episode, you guys. No Pill-ter. We really think you were authentic in your response, which is really what we were hoping for. So once again, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I would echo that. This has been so interesting and fun to learn about married pharmacists kind of working at the same hospital in, I would say, maybe similar type of positions or similar type of area. For our audience out there, we'd love to hear your thoughts on potentially doing a series of episodes where we interviewed married pharmacists. So reach out and let us know what you think about the topic and if you want to hear more.
Well, that's it for Better Left Unsaid. Thank you to our guests, Lisa and Brett Krautstrunk.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you. We also wanted to give a shout out to Ron Herbst from Roseman University. His help has been invaluable. He does the audio editing and the sound mixing. For music, we'd again like to thank Damaris Morales, who's playing a piano version of Just Like a Pill from Pink. And for those listening, if you have any ideas for episodes or want to be featured on an episode for something related to pharmacists in Nevada, DM us on our socials. Right now it's Instagram and Facebook, but we're hoping for LinkedIn soon. Or send us an email and look for any updates about NBSHP on our website. Thanks for listening. Join us next time.
Have a good day.
Bye.